lot of family here tonight. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our presentation of Much Ado About Nothing by William Shakespeare. Before I begin my little chat, I would like to make a very special announcement. The members of the Winters Theater Company are honored this evening to dedicate this performance to the memory of Darrell Akers. Two members of our cast, Jesse Akers and his wife Donna, lost Jesse's older brother Darrell this week. And Darrell was very well known in this area. For 38 years he was a cartoonist for the Vacaville Reporter, and he was very active in community theater in the Fairfield and Vacaville areas. He wrote plays, and he was especially fond of melodramas. We send our deepest condolences to Donna and Jesse, who are with us this evening in the performance, and we feel honored to be able to dedicate this to Mr. Darrell Akers. Now, a little bit about our play. Before I talk about the plot, and people tell me I always give away too much, so I'm going to try not to do that tonight. I would just like to tell you a little bit about the title, Much Ado About Nothing. If you think about it, it looks like Shakespeare says, well, I wrote a comedy and there's a lot going on, but it's not a bit important, it's really nothing. But that isn't what he meant, because in Elizabethan English, nothing was pronounced nothing, and it had three meanings. It had the meaning that it does today, nothing, no big thing, but it also had the meaning of noticing. I noted somebody. I noticed them. And it had an important other meaning called eavesdropping. And there's a great deal of eavesdropping that goes on in this play. Everybody's hiding around a bush or a corner in many scenes, and there's also a lot of noting going on. So that's the reason for the title. End of lecture, no quiz. A little bit about the plot. We are setting it in 1900. You can set a Shakespeare play almost any time because of the universality of the theme, but we like 1900 because it was called the Belle Epoque. Nobody in Europe was killing anybody else in world wars or this kind of thing, and people were generally getting along. Shakespeare located his play in Messina, which is in northeastern Sicily. It's as close to the tip of the Italian boot as you can get in Sicily. And the governor of Sicily is Leonardo. He has a lovely daughter, Hero, and an equally lovely niece, Beatrice. They are very much anticipating the arrival of Don Pedro, the Prince of Aragon in Spain, and his two favorite officers, Benedict and Claudio. Now, they have been to Messina and Leonardo's before. Young Claudio noticed Hero, but he was a soldier, he had a job to do, so no romance. Benedict and Beatrice, however, have some sort of a history, which Shakespeare only hints at, but one or the other of them stop the romance. So whenever they meet, it is the battle of the sexes, and it's some of the wittiest dialogue Shakespeare ever wrote. In fact, next to Petruchio and Katharina in The Taming of the Shrew, this is the most charming idea of a man and a woman who are obviously meant for each other. It's obvious to everybody but them, and the little insults they hurl along the way. There's also a villain in the plot. Actually, she is a villainess who is out to avenge herself on her brother because she is illegitimate, etc. I've told you enough. Welcome to Messina, 1900, and the residence of Governor Leonardo. Ladies and gentlemen, Much Ado About Nothing, noting and eavesdropping.
I read in this letter here that Don Pedro of Aragon comes this night to Messina.
He was very nearby this. He was not 3 leagues off when I left him.
How many gentlemen have we lost in this action?
But few of any sort, and none of name.
I learned there that Don Pedro pays great homage to a young Florentine called Claudio.
He hath borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing in the figure of a lamb the feats of a lion.
He hath friends in Messina who will be very much glad of it. Indeed, they will weep for joy.
Then, cousin, much joyful weeping will be yours.
Well said, Beatrice. For it is well known 'tis better to weep at joy than to joy at weeping.
I pray you, is Signor Mountanto returned from the wars or no?
I know none of that name, lady.
My cousin means Signor Benedict of Padua.
Oh, he's returned, and as much pleasant as he always has been.
Oh, I pray you, how many hath he killed and eaten in these wars? But how many hath he killed? For I promise to eat all of his killing.
He has done good service, and a good soldier too, lady.
And a good soldier compared to a lady. But what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with all honorable virtue.
It is so indeed. He is no less than a stuffed man, a man of straw.
Do not mistake my niece. There's a sort of merry war betwixt Signor Benedict and her. They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
Oh, faith, Beatrice, you tax Signor Benedict too much.
Who is his companion now? For he hath every month a new sworn brother. Indeed, he wears his friends as he wears his hat. His choice changes with the next block.
He is much in the company of the right noble Claudio.
Oh, Lord, he will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught than the pestilence, and the taker runs immediately mad. Oh, God help the noble Claudio if he hath caught the Benedict disease. It will cost him £1,000 ere he be cured.
I see the man is not in your good book.
No, and if he were, I would burn my study.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Do, good friend.
You will never catch the Benedict disease, niece.
No, not till a hot January.
Don Pedro is approached.
Good Signor Leonardo. Are you come to meet your trouble? The fashion of the world is to avoid cause, and you encounter it.
Well, trouble never entered my house in your likeness, good grace. You're heartily welcome. You will recall my sister, Lady Ursula.
Very well. And this is your daughter?
Her mother many times has told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir, that you had to ask?
Signor Benedict, no.
Signor Leonardo be her father, she would not have his head on her shoulders for all of Messina, as like him as she is.
I wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
Oh, my dear Lady Disdain, are you still living?
Is it possible? Disdain should die when it hath such meat food to feed as the Signor Benedict. Courtesy itself must convert to disdain when she comes in your presence.
Oh, then is courtesy a turncoat? For it is certain I am loved of all ladies, only yourself excepted. And I would I could find in my heart that I have not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
A dear happiness to women. They would elsewise be troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God in my cold blood I'm of your humor for that. I'd rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
Oh, God keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other shall escape a predestinate scratched face.
Scratching could not make it worse if 'twere such a face as yours.
You are the rare parrot teacher who says the same thing over and over.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse have the speed of your tongue, but keep your way, in God's name I have done.
You always end with a jade's trick, as a horse that jumps out of the race before the finish. I know you of old.
Signor Claudio, Signor Benedict, my dear friend Leonardo hath invited us all to stay. I shall tell him we will stay at least a month.
Oh, I bid you welcome, Lady Juana. Being reconciled with your nephew, the prince, I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I am not of many words, but I thank you.
Well, your grace, would you lead on?
Your hand, Leonardo. We will go together.
Didst thou note the daughter of Senior Leonardo?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
You ask me as an honest man should for my simple, true judgment? Or would you have me speak after my custom as a professed tyrant to their sex?
No, I pray thee speak in sober judgment.
Well, methinks she too low for a high praise, too brown for a fair praise, and too little for a great praise. Only this commendation I can afford her. Were she other than as she is, she were unhandsome. And being no other but as she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkest I'm in sport. I pray thee tell me truly how thou likest her.
Would thou buy her? You inquire after her so?
Can the world buy such a jewel? In mine eye, she's the sweetest lady that ever I looked upon.
I can yet see without spectacles, and I see no such matter. Now there's her sister. Were she not possessed of a fury, does exceed her in beauty as much as the 1st of May doth the last of December. I hope you have no intent to turn husband, have you?
I would trust myself, though I had sworn the contrary. If Hero would be my wife.
Then come to this. Shall I never see a bachelor of 80 again?
What secret fell you here that you followed not to Leonardo's?
He's in love. With who? That's your Grace's part. With who? With Hero, Leonato's short daughter.
The lady is very well worthy.
You speak this to fetch me in, my lord.
By my faith, I speak my thought.
In my faith, my lord, I spoke mine.
And by my 2 faiths and troths, I spoke mine.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I love her, I feel.
And I neither feel how she should be worthy, nor how she could be loved, as an opinion of fire cannot melt out of me. I will die with it at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the contempt of beauty.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give my most humble thanks. But I will live a bachelor.
I shall see thee, ere I die, look pale with love.
With anger, with sickness, or hunger, my lord, not with love.
We shall see, in time. In time, the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
The savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedict wear it, pluck off thy bull's horns and set them firmly in my forehead, and let me be vilely painted in such great words as they write, here is a good horse for hire, let them signify under my sign, here is Benedict, the married man.
Senior Benedict, repair to Leonardo's. Do not fail him at supper, for he had made great preparation.
Therefore I leave you.
Hath Leonardo any son, my lord?
None but Hero. She is his only heir. Dost thou love her, Claudio?
Oh, my lord, when you went onward on this war, I looked upon her with the soldier's eye that light, but had a rougher task at hand than to drive liking to the name of love. But now I'm returned, and because war thoughts have left their places vacant, in the room come thronging soft and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young Hero is, saying I liked her ere I went to wars.
Thou dost love Hero, cherish it, and I will negotiate with her and with her father. I know, and thou shalt have her. I know we shall have reveling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise and tell fair Hero that I am Claudio. And in her bosom I'll unclasp my heart and take her hearing prisoner with the force and strong encounter of my amorous tale. Then to her father will I break, and in conclusion, she shall be thine. In practice, let's put it presently.
Now, my lady, why are you thus so out of measure? Sad?
There is no measure in the occasion that